And welcome back to Couch Reacts. Here with Luke, Ryan, and Caleb. Week 18 is almost finished. We've got one game going on right now. It's the Sunday night Ravens Steelers, which is 10-3 at halftime for the Ravens. So we're gonna go through a couple of these games, and we're just gonna give our reactions to it. We'll look at real quick. We're gonna go to Saturday, and we're gonna look at the Panthers Buccaneers. So that was a 2-point victory in favor of the Buccaneers. Looked like the Panthers were almost gonna come back, and then they didn't. And then the Falcons ended up beating the Saints and said, hey, you know, it would be a great way to celebrate this victory if we fired our head coach. So they fired Raheem Morris. And the Panthers did clinch their playoff spot because of the Falcons beating the Saints. So you guys got anything about the Panthers-Buccaneers matchup or even the Falcons firing Raheem Morris? Or I guess if Ryan wants to talk about Tyler Shuck, he can. Had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 259 yards.
I'll let Ryan speak first.
Oh, well, you know. Wait, so we're talking about Saints Falcons right now, not
And
the
any of the NFC South you want to talk about. So Panthers are the ones that clinched the spot because the Falcons beat the Saints. Buccaneers could have made it, and they didn't. And the Falcons decided to fire Raheem Morris, which he was one of my hot seat picks when we did our hot seat episode. So just saying. John Harbaugh, you're next.
Jeez. Feel good you called it right or something?
Oh, but actually, I didn't think that Raheem Morris really deserved to be fired. Falcons, inconsistent team for sure, but they also lost their starting quarterback. And while Kirk Cousins is a decent QB, I mean, they lost a decent chunk of their offense when Michael Penix left. It's definitely not an offense for Kirk Cousins, so.
Yeah, I will say, and I've told you this in the past, Luke, is there a harder to understand team more than the Falcons this year?
I don't believe
Any
so.
any given game, like literally all of their games, betting lines should have been pick'ems because who knows what Falcons team's going to show up? It's the one that's going to beat the Rams, or it's the one that's going to, drop a game to or almost drop a game to the Saints, or they had some really bad losses and then they beat some impressive teams. They make no sense. It's literally like who knows what team's going to show up.
Yeah. Yep, and then the Buccaneers-Panthers game, the Panthers almost came back on the Bucs there. They were an onside kick away, and then it was the exact same thing with the Saints-Falcons game. It was an onside kick away. The Saints, the final touchdown that they scored to get up to 17 points was actually pretty impressive. Pretty great throw by Shuck. I'll give him his flowers for that. And then it was
Shuck.
this one-handed reception thing that they pulled off. He was definitely being interfered with when he caught it. Trying to think who was the receiver that caught that. Let's see.
What,
I don't want to misquote. Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell caught the touchdown. He caught it with one hand right in the breadbasket. So, pretty impressive catch. And then let's go ahead. So, yeah, Panthers have punched their ticket. And let's go to Seahawks 49ers on Saturday night. So, this one, Caleb, I know we were texting back and forth on this one. I think Ryan was too. Sam Darnold finally gets the monkey off his back about the narrative that he can't win the big ones after last year, where the Vikings gave up the number 1 seed to the Lions, and quite frankly, it wasn't very close. They got crushed in that game. So Sam Darnold had a pretty good game. He had 6 incompletions, only 6 incompletions and almost 200 yards. But I think the real story on this one is the Seahawks defense, which we talked about them. Ryan, you and I talked about them a little bit in the main podcast. Talked about how they were probably going to be the difference maker for this matchup. So what do you guys think about this matchup? Caleb, I'll go with you first since this is the one you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it is an impressive feat to hold the 49ers offense to 3 yards. Or I'm sorry, 3 yards. That would be really impressive.
Whoa.
3 points. I texted you like halfway through the game, and I was like, if they're going to do anything, then they're going to have to throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field. It seemed like Brock Purdy was terrified to do that. Everything was a check down to McCaffrey or quick check down on the left or right side. Like, he was not looking down the field at all.
Yeah.
And that defense, Seattle's defense, I mean, you think about it's going to run through Seattle, and Seattle is a notoriously hard place to play. I feel like the Seahawks are that team where, like, they should be somewhat the obvious favorite on paper in the NFC. It's just that nobody really trusts Sam Darnold, and that's the problem, because we all saw it last year, right? So I don't know. I was impressed with him. I think if Sam Darnold – here's what I think. If Sam Darnold throws less than 3 picks the postseason, then they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I was going to say, per game, you have really low standards.
No, but the postseason. I think if he can –
He's thrown 3 picks in a game before.
He has. If he can throw less than 3 picks for the postseason, then they will win the Super Bowl. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It's they're sitting in a really good spot, right? They've got 2 really good running backs. They've got top 3 receiver in the NFL right now, and then they've got I would still say Darnold is a game manager, but I also don't think that that's a bad thing anymore. I don't know why game manager is being used as like a slur against QBs nowadays. Like, how is that a bad thing? Yeah, he's managing his way to a number 1 seed.
It's a way to showcase mediocrity, because if you don't have much good to say about a player, but not much bad, you say, oh, he's a game manager.
Yeah, I mean,
he manages the game well.
But I wouldn't say Sam Darnold is a stud. I would just say that he is a upper half QB, and he's in a really good situation right now, and he knows how to get the ball to his best players, and I think that's an important trait in a QB. And then flip it over to the other side. Brock Purdy had scored 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Turns around to this game, they score 3 points as a whole. Doesn't crack 150 yards, doesn't crack 130 yards, and throws a pick. But the pick really wasn't his fault. But it was a McCaffrey thing. A lot of people on Twitter thanking McCaffrey for saving his worst game of the season for after the the fantasy playoffs were over. So.
Yeah, he's just such a good guy, He's looking out for the players.
That's right. I mean, I said this to multiple people, and I'll say it here. The 49ers have been very impressive the last 3 weeks, but they also hadn't played any actual NFL caliber defenses. And I say this as a Bears fan. The Bears are not a legitimate defense, and I'll gripe about them later.
How dare you? Are you calling the Bears frauds?
I'm not calling them frauds. I'm just saying their defense is not legit. And then the Colts, without Sauce Gardner, their defense was struggling. Obviously, they hung 48 on them. And then before that, I think it was the Titans. And I mean, I don't even need to say anything about the Titans. But so yeah, it's nice because my confidence as a Bears fan is very low right now. But what's nice is that if the Bears are going to play the Niners again, at least it will be a home game for Chicago. So I'm glad that at least is happening. And also, the Seahawks being the 1 seed, they're not a super convincing 1 seed, right? I mean, any team can lose any game at any point, but I could see the Seahawks being a round 1 or a round 2 because they have the bye. I could see them being a round 2 exit. Just because I've seen some inconsistency in their play. But I've seen that with every team in the NFL this year. So it's definitely going to be probably the most unpredictable playoffs that we've ever seen in recent NFL history. So
Bears put up triple their points when they played the Niners. So I don't know if that matters much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't tend to try to put a ton of stock into things that are happening on a game-to-game basis because week-to-week everything changes on a week-to-week basis. But
it was such a weird game too because I don't know if you guys watched the whole game, but especially for the start of the game, it should have been like 30-3, not 16-3 or whatever. It ended up being 19-3, whatever. It should have been like 30-3. The Seahawks gave away a few opportunities with like 4th down stops and missed field goals, and it should have been a lot. It shouldn't have been that close. I'll put it that way. And
Yeah.
the 49ers losing that game should feel pretty bad because it shouldn't have been that close, you know? Like, those are the kind of games where you have to capitalize if you have a chance.
Yeah, I did make a joke on X because the Seahawks in the first quarter got all the way down to the 1-yard line and then opted for a play action pass, and then Sam Darnold took a massive sack, and then they went for it on 4th down from like the 3 or 4 and didn't get it. So put up 0 points there. They could have scored another touchdown there, right? But the joke that I got to make, and I'm surprised I didn't see a lot of. I was expecting to see a lot more people making this joke on Sleeper and Twitter and everything else, but it's just nice to know that the Seahawks still haven't learned to run it from the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, they left some points on the board for sure, or points off the board. I mean, third quarter start in Ravens Steelers. Okay. So moving on, Colts Texans 30-38. The only thing that happened in any of the noon games that I found the least bit exciting would have been, I guess there's two things. It was the Falcons beating the Saints to get the Panthers in, and then it was Myles Garrett getting his sack record against the Bengals. And he almost didn't get it. It took all the way to the fourth quarter, and then he finally got it, and then the Browns actually went on to win that game. So not really anything that I feel the need for any of us to delve into, but just good thing that he got that. It sucks that it happened in the extra game because now you're going to deal with many people saying, oh, but he did it in a 17-game season. So.
Oh, yeah. I said that right afterwards.
Yeah.
Of course, then I thought, anybody who makes that argument, didn't the NFL used to only be like 12 games or something way back in the day?
Yeah. What was it? The undefeated Dolphins, they played a 14-game season. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, anybody who had records back then, like, well, they have 18 games now.
Yeah. And then Packers-Vikings, that was a nothing game. Big old nothing burger game there.
If Robers would be rolling over in his grave right now.
He's not dead.
I'll tell you what's funny about this game is Adam Thielen left the Vikings because he wanted to be on a team that competed, right? Like, he was traded to the Vikings earlier this season from the Panthers and then requested to be cut because he wanted to be on a team that was going to make the playoffs. Vikings went 9-8. Adam Thielen is playing for the Steelers right now. It's looking like the Steelers might end 9-8 or 8-9, right?
No, 9-8. They're 9-7.
Yeah. So Adam Thielen might. It's looking like he was going to be on a 9-8 team regardless, unless the Steelers can come back and win this game, which they could. But kind of funny. This might end up being quite meme-worthy when it comes to the end of Adam Thielen's career because he said that he would be done at the end of this season. So, but yeah, I mean, the Vikings got a win against a Packers squad that was starting their third-string quarterback and none of their starters. I mean, and the Packers, I don't know what this was, but as time was expiring, they called a timeout. They had 0 points at the time. Called a timeout. They were at like the 10-yard line, and instead of trying to score a TD, they tried out their kicker to attempt a field goal. I don't know why. To say we didn't get shut out. Who cares? It's a Week 18 game. No one cares about that.
Yeah, I was frustrated with one thing, and not in this game, but in the Jaguars game. So Cam Little made a 68-yard field goal today in the Jags game.
67 because he already has the record of 68.
That's right. 67. Yeah, and I was like, man, why didn't you just back it up 3 yards and let him try for the record? You were up like 40 points. That's what I would do because he has the record in the preseason, but everybody's like, oh, it's the preseason, so it doesn't count.
Can you just back it up?
I mean, my thought process was like, if you know you're going to kick the field goal anyway and you're up by 30 points, just lose 3 yards on a play to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Like, just knee it.
I mean,
little delay of game would do that.
Yeah, same thing.
That's 5 yards, though.
He could kick a 72-yard. I watched that replay today. He could do it.
He could, but I don't think there's any coach in the NFL that's looking to intentionally take off yardage. I mean, unless you're talking QB Neals.
You know what, Luke? Meet me, all right? There's some job openings coming up, and I'll be ready. By the way, I heard that Phillip Rivers is going to be a head coaching candidate.
Really?
Mm-hmm, that was the rumor today.
You know what? Where's the Colts at? Riley Leonard did not look bad for a good portion of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they were playing Phillip Rivers over him because he was dealing with an injury, but he did not look bad being a rookie. And did you guys see Alec Pierce get ejected for contacting an official?
Yeah, that was the most ridiculous.
It was bogus.
Did he just
it's
bump
like,
into him? Or?
Well, no, you didn't see it, Ryan?
I did not see this.
It was like his shirt touched me. Throw him out.
It was the ref got his feelings hurt, so they counted as contacting an official.
Some of us are more sensitive than others.
It's one of the softest, probably the softest ejection I've ever seen. Actually, I think bar none, that's the softest ejection I've ever seen. I've never seen someone get ejected for literally like he was just trying to plead his case to the ref, and they ejected him.
It was pretty funny, and yeah. I see. What I think we should do is I think we should start a campaign and be like, we need to ban Alec Pierce for life. he is way too aggressive.
Yeah. Pierce before that had 2 TDs, so he was having a great game. So kind of a killer there.
Riley Leonard, though, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 270 yards. I mean, is Daniel Jones's job in question now? It was only a 1-year contract he was signed to.
No, I think the thing to take away from all of this, honestly, is that the Colts offense is very QB friendly right now, because Daniel Jones, a guy whose career was dead in the water, had found tons of success with it, and then you have Phillip Rivers, 44-year-old grandpa, comes in, and he had a little bit of success with it, and now you've got a rookie in his first start having some success with it. It kind of is feeling like the Colts are working their the Kyle Shanahan-esque offense right now, where you can plug in any QB and they'll find some form of success in it. So.
Well, maybe they should have the Colts offense come over and help Brock Purdy out then, huh? Because he did not play well last night.
Yeah, you mean Mr. 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks?
Yeah, but how many did he have last night?
He could have had one. Yeah, it was a brutal one for them there. But the Giants did what the Giants do, and in situations where they're supposed to be losing games, they won games and gave up any shot of having the first overall pick, which went to the Raiders, even though they beat the Chiefs.
You know what that was, Luke? That was Jackson Dart saying, "I will not let you draft Mendoza first overall because I'm going to make us have the second pick."
Smart move. Except for Mendoza. Mendoza's not a lock for first overall, though.
He's the betting favorite currently, and that is the high IQ way to keep your job. I'm going to win a game that we should lose, so you can't draft my replacement.
I mean, the Raiders need a QB, so
brilliant.
Yeah.
It works out for everyone.
What is Geno Smith's contract? Isn't he under contract for like 3 years?
I'm not sure.
I bet Geno will. Well, I don't know. If you draft a Mendoza, you'll probably be starting him week 1. So that'll be off-season content for us, I guess. I do want to talk Cardinals-Rams a little bit.
Smith's contract is only 2 years.
Okay, so he might be on the team next season, but he might be losing his job to a rookie early on. So.
2-year extension, so he's signed through the next 2 seasons, it looks like.
Yeah. Okay, so
right, and Luke, you mentioned off-season content. Now, when we move to the off-season, we do this podcast daily. Is that right?
Yes.
Sure, that's right. Yeah, Caleb, you come on. You come into this call every day. We'll be there for sure. For sure.
We will have Couch Reacts daily.
It's just gonna end up me talking.
That's right. Ryan asked me earlier. He said, "What will you do if you start the call and nobody comes in at all?" And I was like, "Then I will make armpit fart noises for 15 minutes. Then I will hang up and I will post it."
Yeah, and I couldn't let our brand be tied to that, so I had to come on the podcast at that point.
That's right.
You're just like must-listen episode.
Feel like these are the tips that are gonna win you your fantasy championship next season. Tune in now. Anyways, so the Rams smoked the Cardinals. Well, they didn't smoke the Cardinals actually. That's actually what I want to talk about a little bit. So 37-20, Cardinals Jacoby Brissett, once again, turned in a pretty decent performance. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But my guy, Michael Wilson, 5 receptions and 99 yards and a touchdown. Gotta love it. Once again, Marvin Harrison went to IR, and then Michael Wilson stepped up to the plate and decided to help out anyone that happens to be playing him in DFS or has their fantasy championship this week. Maybe a survivor pool. Maybe someone in a survivor pool played him. But and then Stafford's winning MVP now. 4 touchdowns, 259 yards. He's getting MVP for sure. It was.
He has 11 more touchdowns than the next guy.
Probably. Is there a way for me
It
to?
looks like it, with about the same intercept. He has 42 TDs and 8 interceptions.
I'm saying 46 touchdowns and 8 interceptions and 4,700 yards.
My phone did not update yet. Yeah. So yeah, even more.
Yeah, he's getting MVP for sure. Yeah, no, so that game, if I'm the Cardinals, I think I'm gonna try to keep Jacoby Brissett on the team. And I know that Kyler, my assumption is Kyler's gonna be gone, and my assumption will be that they're gonna draft somebody. But I would draft somebody, and I would have Jacoby Brissett be the day 1 starter, unless that rookie ends up looking amazing. So that's my guess right now. And then, yeah, Rams look real good. We'll talk about them in a little bit when we talk about the Bears, I think. And then Commanders ended up beating the Eagles' backup team, which is why the Bears got the 2 seed. Patriots smoked the Dolphins. What else is new? The Bills, Mitchell Trubisky, 4 touchdowns, 259 yards, no picks. Compared to Brady Cook, 60 yards and a touchdown.
Okay. That's hilarious because I saw that score and I legit thought they were playing Josh Allen. I didn't even watch the game. I just thought they were playing Josh Allen.
Nope, it was Trubisky started the game.
That explains why they scored so many.
That's true.
Right, Josh Allen against the Eagles didn't score anything.
Yeah, the Jets and the Eagles are basically the same team. Ray Davis, 21 carries, 151 yards. He was averaging 7.2 a carry. James Cook did play. James Cook had 2 carries for 15 yards, so they must have maybe they started Cook and then pulled him out after a couple plays. But so the Jets, did you guys know that the Jets have become, it's like the first team in either NFL history, the first team in like 50 years to play an entire season and not have a single interception on defense?
Yeah, I saw that. Real quick, going back to James Cook, isn't that just the biggest like flex move for like DFS players? Like, no, he's active, he's playing. 2 carries. Just the rest of the game.
DFS was rough today, man. I had to. It's such a guessing game in Week 18. Like I did Jaden Reed in a lineup. I don't even know why. Looking back at it, I shouldn't have. And then, yeah, I will say I played Tank Bigsby in one of my lineups. Worked out well because I knew Saquon was not going to be playing, and Bigsby was still pretty cheap because of that. So because it was announced after the pricing, so I'm a little proud of myself. Didn't make any money, but proud of myself.
Hey, quick update to the Steelers-Ravens game.
10-10.
Steelers.
Who
they were
punched
on
in?
the Baltimore 1-yard line, and they rushed for it, and they got it this time. So
It's looking like it was Jalen Warren, I take it? Or no?
Connor Hayward.
Connor Hayward. Tush push, eh? Okay. So that game's tied. I mean, this could end up being a good one. So we'll see what happens with that. And then... Oh, hey, the wildcard schedule is coming out. Packers-Bears, Saturday at 7 p.m. Rams-Panthers, Saturday at 3:30.
Nice. Packers look terrible against the Vikings, so obviously they're going to look bad against the Bears too.
All right, that was the Packers team that's going to be playing on Saturday.
Yep.
So, and then Monday night, Texans versus TBD, whoever wins this game, I think. So, okay. Well, let's talk Lions-Bears. That was demoralizing, to say the least. I will say my confidence is at an all-time low for the wild card round for the Bears. Pretty much, it's to me, I think it's actually the worst case scenario what happened today. So Bears getting the 2 seed by not winning is probably my worst case scenario, because you are talking a team that has just now lost 2 games in a row, both in pretty what's the word? I mean, pretty harsh fashion, where you had hope at the end of the game and it gets pulled away from you at the end. So now you've got to try to rebound against a team that's a division rival that has had your number both times that you've played them this season. You beat them miraculously the second time around, and now you have to try to find a way to beat them in a week. It will be a home game for them, but I just honestly don't think that makes that big a difference. They played at home today, and they still couldn't score points in the first half. So Bears continue to get off to really icy starts unless they're playing their 49ers defense. The Lions defense, though, to be honest, just looked really good. Bears O-line played a little bit worse than I've seen them recently, I think. Lions D-line really had their way with the Bears running game. They were feasting on the Bears running backs, and then they were still getting pressure on Caleb Williams, and then Colston Loveland led the team in receiving, 10 receptions for 91 yards, and about third quarter, I started to wonder. I was like, why are all of the passes going underneath the Colston Loveland? And then they tried the 2 deep shots. One was to Luther Burden on the free play, and the other was to DJ Moore. Both of them were doubled up on deep shots, and it was like, okay, that's why they're checking it down so much to Colston Loveland. A lot of double coverage on whoever's going deep. And then, I mean, the big story here, the offense got off to a horrible, super slow start, just like they always do. And if they do that in the playoffs, they're going to lose. But the really big story is the defense. I mean, you can't keep allowing 400 yards of offense and expect to win your games. Like, the defense they need to make some type of adjustments going into this wild card matchup, because they keep doing man coverage. It's never working. Nahshon Wright, here's the thing about Nahshon Wright. Talk about him quite a bit. He is great when he's getting takeaways, but he is not good in coverage. And if I was the Bears, I would be playing Tyreek Stevenson more than I'm playing Nahshon Wright. And it's been the opposite. They think that Nahshon Wright has earned the right to be their number 2 corner after Jalen Johnson. They think that he's earned the right because of all the takeaways, but he is a liability in coverage right now, especially in man coverage, and he keeps getting cooked. And then, before I open this up, I do want to say my favorite prop bet this week, and I don't think I actually had any parlays hit where I did this, which is sad, but Amon-Ra St. Brown for 64.5 yards. I took the over on that everywhere I could, because that was a guarantee. And obviously he doubled it. He had it in the first half. So, yeah. So what were you guys' thoughts on this one? Obviously the Bears had a shot to win it late. They finally went from not scoring any points to scoring 16 and tying it up late, and then couple of bad penalties on their final offensive drive pushed them back. Pretty bad intentional grounding call on Caleb Williams. He threw it to nobody and pretty much stalled out their chance to win the game. So what were you guys' thoughts about this game? Am I being too harsh by saying that I have almost no hope of going into the playoffs?
Yep, too harsh.
Am I now?
Oh, did you want me to expound upon that?
A little bit, Ryan. That would help.
No. I'm just going to call you out and not give any reasoning behind it. That's the way I do this.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Caleb, I think Ryan is trying to get you to talk.
I was going to let Ryan talk. But no,
okay, well, let me tell you about them Bears. They need to improve.
Ryan's like, we are done talking about Tyler Shook. I am done with this call.
Oh, we're talking about Saints? Hang on.
No. We're on the Bears and the Lions. So,
yeah, so it's actually, obviously you want to win, right? If you can. You guys know my thoughts about playing the Packers. I think I've shared it. I have said if we play the Packers in the first round, we will lose. There's just a mental block there, so I just don't trust it. But Maybe I'm just being pessimistic, but that's just how I feel. But I will say, for this game, I would have liked to win. I don't mind the loss so much, and that's just because I didn't want them to go into the playoffs thinking like, hey, we won. Like, we can take this, no problem. We don't have to work too hard about this. We can do it. I kind of like the gut punch right before the playoffs.
Jeez.
Yeah, but the gut
Wow.
punch was provided by the 49ers last week. This is
But
like,
it wasn't. But it wasn't, because everybody was like, "Oh, nothing to hang your head about. That was a great loss. You one of your best losses of the year, right? Nothing to hang your head about." This loss, it was like, "No, you shouldn't have lost this game, and you just did." And I know Ben Johnson's going to be really hard on them because there were lots of drop passes, lots of penalties that didn't need to happen. Defense didn't play very well again. First of all, they need to stop playing man coverage. Like, they cannot hold up in man coverage.
yeah,
If they were eaten alive.
Yeah, if they were getting pressure on the QB, it'd be a different story. But man coverage only works if you can actually get after the QB.
Exactly, and they can't. That's the problem. So it's just like, it's kind of brutal to watch. But I don't mind the gut punch right before. And I hope that they'll be ready to play. Like you said, though, Luke, if they start off slow like they have in the last few weeks, other than the 49ers game, they're not going to beat the Packers.
Yeah.
I predict it to be a low-scoring game. I think it's probably going to be like 17-20 is what I would say. So
Who's winning?
you'll just have to wait and find out, right?
Okay, that's
true.
Okay.
Ryan, this is not, when we do previews, and it's not for another couple days. So, and then let's quick look at, Dave Montgomery got sacked. 0 for 0 on completions and attempts. When they stuffed that play, I actually thought that was when I actually thought, you know what, maybe the Bears have a chance. Because that was 3rd and 1 when they tried to run the trick play, and they sacked David Montgomery for a loss. The Lions were going for that on 4th down, and you knew if they wouldn't have taken the loss, if it was 4th and 1, they were gonna go for it and they were gonna pick it up. When they stuffed that was when I actually had a little bit of hope. But yep, it wasn't meant to be. And then the Bears, Caleb Williams did not get the 4,000 yards, which kind of like the Myles Garrett thing. You have the extra game, so it's just less impressive, right? It's less impressive to get 4,000 yards if you have an extra game. But then receiving, once again, DJ Moore only had 1 reception for 11 yards. Just for some reason not getting the ball. There's a lot going on there. So apparently the Raiders are kind of opening up the door for the opportunity to trade Max Crosby away. I saw Caleb and Ryan. I want to get both your thoughts on this. I saw somebody's projected trade saying DJ Moore, 2 first-rounders, and I think a 2027 third-rounder for Max Crosby. Is that a trade that you guys think the Bears should do if they could get him for that?
They've gotten a lot of picks in recent years, so why don't they give up a couple? I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I disagree. Not that it's a super egregious trade or whatever. I'm not a huge believer in trading a ton of capital for a defensive player in general. Like, I would do it for a quarterback, and that's about it. So
yeah. So I don't hate the idea of trading I don't hate the idea of trading for a pass rusher, but I also don't really like the price on that one. If we're talking just 2 first-rounders and like a 3, then I actually think I'd be okay with it. But I feel like I'm one of the few Bears fans nowadays where I'm like, I don't want to trade away DJ Moore. I still think DJ Moore is a really talented receiver. I just think that the Bears offense is spreading the ball out a lot, so that's why he's having a down year stat-wise. And a lot of people talk about his body language. A lot of people will say, well, they were walking off the field and he's hanging his head and, he doesn't look like he's happy to be there. And it's like, yeah, that's always been DJ Moore, though. Watch him when he scores a touchdown. When he scores a touchdown, he just tosses the ball back to the ref and just walks away. Like, the dude's just not that enthusiastic of a person, and that's fine. So I don't really put a lot of stock into his body language, but yeah, I would love it if the Bears got a better pass rusher because it's the biggest issue with their team right now. But I also don't love the price of, these top tier guys. So
We're also going to get a good pass rusher then.
I mean, try to get lucky. Try to get lucky in the draft. Try to maybe trade up, because they're going to be picking late now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Here's the thing about it. You look at teams. It's okay. The Rams, the Patriots used to be like this. There are certain teams that don't mind trading away draft picks for players, right? They just don't mind doing it, and I think that works great if you have a really good quarterback who you trust and you have a good offensive line. Then you can pretty much do whatever you want because the core of your team is set. You know, you can trade for pass rushers and everything else. And honestly, you know, I'm going to play devil's advocate to myself now. There's the situation where would you rather have the pass rusher you know is good, or would you rather take 2 swings on first-round picks to try to get a good pass rusher, right? Like, what would you rather do?
I mean, I'd rather make the trade, but it's
right.
I mean, I think the big issue is trying to get a top-tier talent, trying to get Max Crosby or Myles Garrett. The price is probably not worth it, just given the draft capital that you'd be trading away. Plus, I mean, if we're talking extensions, the contracts are going to be crazy. But at the same time, you go after a more mid-tier. I mean, the Bears did it. You go after a more mid-tier pass rusher like Montez Sweat, and it's not working out. That being said, I don't think Montez Sweat's a bad player. He's not a top-tier talent, and the Bears kind of traded for him like he was a top-tier talent, and they kind of paid him like a top-tier talent. I think that's the biggest issue. But also, there's nobody else on the defensive line that's actually playing well other than him sometimes. So, you know, if they got like a Max Crosby, then Montez Sweat would probably be one of the happiest players in the locker room because it means he would stop getting doubled all the time. So, I don't know. It's rough right now. This is 2 weeks in a row where it's just horrible defensive performances. We're talking making Jared Goff and Brock Purdy look like they're untouchable. And not that they're bad QBs, they're not. It's just trying to make them look like they can't be sacked. 2 guys that are not known for being scramblers, 2 guys that are not known for avoiding pressure. Like, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried going into the wild card. And honestly, I'm a little bit. I think it's better if it's Jordan Love instead of Malik Willis, because Malik Willis would carve the Bears up right now because the Bears can't sack a stationary QB right now.
Yeah, pass rush is definitely their biggest problem. Obviously, their secondary has some weak spots too, but honestly, if you get a good pass rush, you don't have to worry about that as much, you know?
Yeah.
So
get pressure to the QB, and I'm sure they won't be as bad on the back end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Defensively, Kevin Byard, I thought, was the one that got the pick. Yeah, he was, which gives him let me see if I can look up his stats. Because I believe
32 years. He's an old man.
He is an older. Yeah, that's 7 picks on the season for him. So he's probably gonna get first team All Pro. Probably gonna get a nod for it. So, okay. Well, I think we covered everything I want to talk about. Closing remarks.
Yeah. Can we go back and talk about the Saints really quick?
No, we cannot. That time is fast.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have a real quick game for you guys. So they've FanDuel's posted the lines for the games this upcoming weekend. I'm gonna just say a game, and you tell me who you think is favored. Okay, that's it. Just tell me who you think is favored.
Mm-hmm.
So start with the Rams-Panthers.
Rams,
yeah.
Okay. All right, Bills-Jaguars.
You're not gonna tell us. You're just gonna okay.
The Rams are favored in that.
It's actually
Bills.
It's actually. I think this one's actually really close. Which is funny because I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks ago when I said on the podcast I declared how I've never been a believer in Trevor Lawrence, and he's been playing like an MVP ever since I said that. But I think the Bills are probably favored.
What's different? I think it's because he has Jacoby Myers on his team.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
It's part of it.
So, Bills favored, Caleb?
No.
Right, Brian, what do you think?
Jags favored.
The Bills are favored by 1.5.
Yeah.
All right, 49ers, Eagles.
It's got to be Eagles.
Yeah, I think so too. 49ers literally don't have a defense.
It is the Eagles by 3.5.
Yeah.
Chargers, Patriots.
Patriots.
Patriots, yeah.
Patriots by 3.5. So good job. And then the last one that they have done right now is the Packers, Bears.
I already know it's the Packers by 1.5.
Bears.
It is the Packers by 1.5, but about 5 minutes ago they had them both at -110. So it's as close to a pick 'em as you can get.
Well, that's good because Caleb already told you what I'm going to do when it comes to betting on that game.
That's right.
Anyways, yeah, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would be betting on the Packers.
Because you're a Packers fan, you want them to win, right? Why would you win?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I mean. Yeah. Yep.
Both you and Luke are closeted Packers fans, and you won't admit it.
Hey, you know what? That'd be better than being a closeted Saints fan, Ryan. They suck.
Ryan,
do they?
They won 3 games.
If the Packers ever win the Super Bowl,
4
I
games,
will be a very, very rich man.
You bet on them every year because you expect them to win. I mean, why else would you bet on them?
Yeah. Nope. I think, my confidence going into the wild card round is at an all-time low right now. If the Bears win, I'll be shocked. But you know what? We'll be previewing that game this week, and we'll see if there's enough time for me to change my opinion. Spoiler alert, it's not going to change. So, it's
well,
not.
then they don't have to tune back in then if your opinion's not going to change.
Well, we're going to preview all the games. It's not going to be the only
All right.
game we preview.
Luke, what if Jay Cutler comes out of retirement for this game?
To do what? To play defense?
Nah, he's gonna play quarterback.
Well, he better learn how to rush the passer because he's not playing quarterback.
Why not? That arm. Him and Caleb Williams, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna both hold one side of the ball and throw it together.
I sent you the article. Yeah, Caleb, I sent you the article a couple weeks ago of Allen Robinson kind of campaigning to get a call from Ben Johnson to come play for the Bears. It's like that's probably. You are probably the least needed position for the Bears. Wide receiver is actually the only position that I feel like they've actually got pretty locked down. Like receiver, tight end, QB. Honestly, even offensive line. Honestly, all of their offensive positions are actually really good. It's just all of their problems are on defense. That's where it all is. So yeah, Allen Robinson, learn how to play corner, and then maybe the Bears will sign you.
Real quick before we convene, did you guys see a couple weeks ago, Tom Brady was on an interview when Phillip Rivers got called for the Colts, and they asked Tom Brady, they were like, so if you got called today, do you think you could play in the NFL like a run offense? He's like, oh yeah, I could definitely do it. He's like, and I'd be successful too, but I can't because I'm an owner. And I was like, if I were interviewing him, I would have been like, yeah, how convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, I did listen to that interview. Wasn't that on Shaq's podcast?
No, I think it was on Cowherd.
Okay. Well, he said something very similar on Shaq's podcast when he was on. So. Yep. So far, I think the Bears are 2-2 on the year when Tom Brady is calling their games. So we'll see. We'll see if he's calling the wild card game.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good track record at this point, but yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna end this. So, see you guys next week.